Hello everyone, I'm back today with another video. This is going to be another ranked game on my main account here. I uploaded a game against this player quite recently. It was, I believe, actually the last game that I uploaded. We got matched up in another ranked game, and I figured, why not record it again? Maybe I can get some revenge, or maybe I can make myself look like a noob again. But I just told him that I was going to record this game as well. And he agreed, so here we are. So I made this setup just on the spot. It's actually kind of similar to the setup that I played against him yesterday, kind of similar. The pieces are kind of generally in the same locations. I am using my scouts pretty quickly. I'm trying to figure out if he's doing his kernel blitz thing, or if he's being more passive. And he seems to be a whole lot more passive in this game. As you can see, he's already used 4 of his scouts, and he's got a miner here. So no kernel blitz like last game, and the game before that. But if he lets me, I'll snag this miner with this sergeant here. Alright, so I'm going to get this miner, but I'm going to see if I can get some... I'm going to take it with this. The reason I moved that scout here is this might be like a kernel or something. So let's see what he attacks it with here. So he attacks it with this piece, so now I get to scout this piece and figure out what this piece is here. So we got Lieutenant there. So let's go ahead with this scout, and I'm going to check that piece there, see what we got. Okay, so that's just a sergeant. So he is being much more passive this game. He's not doing anything crazy. So we have lieutenant and sergeant. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I'll bring up this lieutenant and double threaten the sergeant. Okay, so he scouted both of my centerpieces, and he doesn't know anything else. Neither of us have moved too much on this side after the initial barrage of scouts. I'm going to see if I can take this sergeant, and I'll give up one of these pieces for info. Or maybe I could bluff him into thinking that one of them is good, and that it's a guard piece for the other. Alright, so we'll move up on this here. And I anticipate that he was going to attack one of them. I figured that. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is move the lieutenant in front. And I just think that really makes it seem like this could be a good piece here. Okay, and he's going to actually move that away. Alright, so I'll go ahead and retreat steadily. Let's see if we can trade lieutenants. I would like that. Interesting, he's not going to allow that. Okay. Alright, so I'll advance on it like that. And I anticipate he might attack it, or he'll move back, and then we'll trade. Okay, so he's going to get not very good info. Let's see if I can do any better here when he takes my lieutenant. Okay, well, I'll move back there. That's fine. See what he takes it with. I don't think this is a captain because it was guarding a lieutenant and a sergeant. I think it is probably more a bluff than anything. But I'm going to move that colonel up to guard it. And I'm pretty sure this can kill a lieutenant, so I'm just waiting for him to take it. It's probably just a captain. Colonel. Okay, that's good. That's good. that makes me think that this is a bluff. You know what? I'm not down anything. I'm going to attack it. It's either a major or it's a bluff. Wow. The Marshall. Wow. So I was definitely wrong that it's either a major or a bluff. Because that was not a major and that was not a bluff. But that's excellent info for that Marshall, for sure. I'm going to try to avoid having this Colonel being scouted. This scout won't be able to 2-square me. But if he brings another one down, I will be happy to take it. So now I have a choice here. I can get active with my Colonel here. Not my Colonel, my General. Or I can kind of sit and wait and play it out. I think I'm probably... Let's advance on this with our Captain first and then see. Alright, I'm going to come up with my General. Alright, so, let's see. Okay, well, I'll let that go, obviously. Nothing I can actually do about that. But that's fine, he's probably hoping for more info, like a General or Marshal. So I'm okay revealing a Colonel. That's his 7th scout, or that's his 6th. He's got his 7th right here. And of course I know his Colonel right here. Alright, so he's going to take a risk and advance on that with his Marshal. It's not that much of a risk since I exposed it to like 5 different scouts by now. But I'm going to keep advancing with my General on this side here. Okay. I'm going to leave that Colonel there, that's fine, but I am going to hit this with my Captain. Probably like a Scout. Yeah, Sergeant. Same thing pretty much. That's fine info. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this Captain down, General over, and let's scout that and see if we have a bomb there. Or a piece that I can take, perhaps. I will be quite surprised, I think, if he takes it with his Marshal. Because I think that would be a pretty huge risk, honestly, to do that. Especially since my General was on the side here. Usually spies aren't guarding the General when they are on this column here. Alright, but let's go ahead and fire a scout, see what we got. Lieutenant, excellent. So I will pick that up with my Captain for sure. I'll be happy to do so. And he's going to take that. I am quite surprised by that. I am quite surprised by that. It's probably more of a just, you know, go for it and hope the spy's not there on his part. It's probably more that than anything. But you have to applaud him for choosing the right side and getting lucky on that. Let's go ahead and take this Lieutenant, and let's see. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to go up that Lieutenant. I'll be up another Sergeant and 2 Miners. And nothing from him there. Okay. I'm going to keep advancing here. Alright, now one thing about this guy is he almost never has bombs in the first 2 rows. So I am kind of down, so I'm really tempted to lotto that. Just a scout, so nothing spectacular. I'm planning on probably lottoing this here until I find bomb. And trade generals. Yes, okay. So we are going to trade off generals there. So that's pretty interesting. He had basically nothing. That's probably a major. But he had basically nothing guarding his general. I guess the play now is to come up with my last colonel and see if I can wreak any havoc. Maybe discover his last colonel, because I know one here and I know his marshal here. If I could just get a captain back, I would feel much better about how I'm doing right now. Interesting. So he's coming up with this piece here. Not sure what that would be. Maybe a kernel, but that's rather interesting to have general kernel. Alright, let's take it. If I find his last kernel, that's fine. Okay, a miner. That's his third miner. So that's helping my my chances here. And we're gonna exchange kernels. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we did find his last kernel, which is good. Okay, I am going to sacrifice this sergeant so that I can blitz with my major. Okay, it's not much of a sacrifice, I guess. He did know that was a sergeant, so... Now, here's an interesting thing. He might think that this is my marshal, this major here. I wouldn't be surprised if he moves next to that major, though, considering that my colonel could have guarded himself with that major and decided not to. Alright, so this is maybe a major here. So a tricky situation could potentially be if he chases me all the way down here. But he's not going to, that's good. I would like if he wastes a scouting piece on that major right here. Let's see what he does. If he moves up with that piece, I'll move over. So I'm in an okay situation, but I definitely need to find a way to win back a captain or something here. Okay, let's do that as kind of just a ploy, and he'll probably move that marshal over. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's going to make him really want to scout my piece there. Yeah, and he's going to evacuate all these pieces over just to waste his last scout on that major. Wow, he really is going for it. Okay. Alright, so he's going to scout that major, and it's going to be pretty much a waste for him, for that last scout at least, because he doesn't know my spy or my marshal. But I suppose I have all three of my majors activated. I might as well blitz with them. Okay, I'll move up there. And let's move up with this major. Alright, and last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to two-square this spy here. Just in case. Alright. Well, not quite yet. Let's trade off some of these majors first. Alright, I'm going to put that major right there. I think my most powerful bluff marshal would be this miner here. But alright, let's start our trading game here. Let's go there, and that's probably major. Yeah, and then this one is probably a major also. Okay. Alright, so we will trade that off. Okay. The reason he did that is he pretty much gets a lot of these pieces here, if that is my marshal. Similar to our last game, when we traded a bunch of our when I went up with my general, and he knew my marshal here, and he counterattacked and swooped through and took a bunch of pieces with his general. But either way, let's see, I'll probably end up finding his last major somewhere close. Not yet, okay. So I'm going to leave that major on the side and retreat with my captain. Alright, I gotta 2-square that, of course. Okay, well, he's given me a passage here to these pieces. He does know that's a major, so he's probably planning on trading off. So I know these 3 have moved. So unless these are a bunch of worthless pieces, although he's used up most of his worthless pieces, but unless these are a bunch of worthless pieces, and he plans on trying to trap my major with his colonel and marshal, maybe? No? Okay. So he's going to let that happen. I'm going to move that there. I think there's probably a 50-50 chance if he moves there. Okay. So we're either going to trade majors or I'll get a free piece or 2, maybe. Alright. And we're going to trade? Yes, we will. Okay. Alright. So I definitely have more pieces than him. Definitely have more pieces than him. I'm going to use this scout and see if I can maybe snipe his spy. I'm not sure which one of these 2 I believe is his spy. I should have been paying attention. It's probably this one, right? I think it would be this one. I think that was the one that was guarding it here when he had major and major. So I am down 2 pieces, which is really never a situation you want to happen. But I am up pretty much loads of these other pieces here. I'm up a lieutenant, sergeant, up 2 scouts, and 3 miners. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is the spy. So let's go ahead and check that. That would be a pretty awesome move if this is indeed his spy. And if that's his spy, then that's sad because I could have brought up this scout and taken it. And maybe I'll still try to do that, if that ends up being his spy, but let's see. Alright, let's see what we got there. Is that a spy? Yes, it is. Alright. It's a good thing I kind of remotely remembered it. But that is a good pickup, definitely, nonetheless. Alright, so now we know his last sergeant also, so he doesn't have any sergeants bombed in, so that's a bummer. I'm going to evacuate this lieutenant just because I don't like it being trapped with his colonel threatening it. This is probably a captain. He's got 4 captains. Yeah, I noticed that in the last game, too. He seems to preserve his captains quite well. I'm going to try to act like this piece is scared of his colonel, because it actually is. But I'm going to try to, maybe by doing that, make him think that that is actually my marshal. Let's see, that is the captain, probably, because it came from here. So, I mean, pretty much probably a captain. And, of course, we have the sergeant here. Alright, I'm going to come up with this captain here. And I'm going to take control of that lane. Alright, and he's going to come up with his sergeant. I would very much like it if he were to waste his sergeant on there. I don't think he'll move between these 2. I don't think so. But I would like to get his last sergeant for this, I would like to get his last sergeant for this captain. Alright, he's going to try to 2-square me there. I'm going to say no to that and keep that going. Alright, of course we got to back up to keep up the ploy that, oh no, I can't let you discover this. Yeah, he really doesn't have much pieces. Most of his remaining pieces are captains, it feels like. Let's see, so Marshall, General was here. Marshall was what, here? Yeah, the Marshal was here. The Marshal was covering his sergeant and lieutenant, actually. So that's pretty interesting. Alright, so I'm going to advance with my captain here. Came from here. I would just really like to pick up this last sergeant. Okay, I'm going to leave that there because I feel like if this was my marshal, advancing on it would be probably too forward, if that makes sense. So I'm going to leave it there to make him think that maybe that's, you know, could be my marshal. Okay, I'm going to keep 2-squaring that. Alright, I'm going to move this piece over. I will find it very surprising if he threatens both of these, and moves next to this unknown spy in the process. But I know this... Alright, so he's going to move next to that captain. I'm going to take that, that's fine. Alright, I am going to move up on this colonel here. Okay. Let's retreat this, this minor here back. I would prefer to take a captain, but I would prefer to take it with my marshal, allowing my marshal to stay here. That could be a minor, or something like that. But it also could be a captain, because that's like a majority of the unmoved pieces. Now if we do play the trading game, and we trade literally everything, then that's okay for me. This is sergeant, so I would like to trade that too, if possible. I'm fine doing that. Alright, I'm gonna scout it. I really want to know what that is. Alright, so that is a captain, so that's good to know. So I'm gonna try to threaten this captain with my captain. Okay, I'll do that. Alright, so now he's trying to trap this captain here. Alright, I'm fine with that. So we've got his second captain here, and we've got his sergeant here. I would kind of like this sergeant out of the way, because that really gives him a lot less, I guess, scouting opportunities, because either he's going to have to waste a lieutenant, potentially, or instead he will have to use his 4th minor. Alright, so what I would really like to do is trade this sergeant off, if he gives me the chance. Alright, I'll trade that. I'm fine doing that. Alright, so that is probably... I don't think it's another captain. It would be weird to have captain. I mean, maybe he does. But that's still kind of weird. So I'm just gonna let that go. See what we got. Alright, let's see. That could probably... It's a minor or a lieutenant, I think. I'm gonna hit that. I don't think it's another captain. That is another captain. Jeez. Okay. Well, this could be good if I move my marshal over here. Okay, I guess the play here is to take that. I guess he thought my marshal was on this side or something. It's clearly not. But that's fine. I will take that for sure. Let's go ahead and move this captain up and out of the way like that. And then I'm going to move this captain over and force a trade. That spy has not... Has that spy moved? I really don't remember, though. I don't remember if that spy has moved or not. I don't... this lieutenant has, though, so I need to be careful about that. I don't want to lose that piece. I don't think that sergeant has moved. I think he's actually going on a lotto spree right now. But that does give me the opportunity to trap his colonel, so it can't take any more of my captain, so that's good. Okay, let's go ahead and force this trade. I don't know, I'll have to rewatch the video, but I don't think those actually moved. But I'm still, let's see, I'm down a colonel and I'm up 3 miners. So that makes it a bit trickier. It would help if he blows up one of these captains here. Alright, so we're going to have to trade that off now. Now, something that might make it even more trickier is the fact that this lieutenant has moved. But if he trades marshals, he'll actually be doing me a favor because it allows my lieutenant to escape. So I would like it if he, in fact, does that. Alright, let's do that. Let's see, so General was here and Marshall's over here, so this is almost certainly the flag. And he likes to have bombs on his weak side. So I could kind of make a rush for the flag, if you will. Trying to think, I think he might have an advantage here because that lieutenant is trapped. When he lottoed that sergeant, again, I don't recall if it was lotto exactly, but when he lottoed that sergeant, it might have been better of me to move the lieutenant up. But then I feel that I was probably clustering too many of these pieces. Alright, I'm just gonna let that be. Hopefully we can trade captains here. If not, I'll probably... Okay, so we will trade captains, that's fine. Alright, so I'm gonna move this lieutenant up here. Alright, so he remembers that and he's gonna keep it trapped. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, I'm gonna come up with a miner now, I guess. Alright, let's do that. Alright, I'm going to do that, and we'll probably trade. Okay, and then I'll bring this miner up here. Okay, I don't think he's going to have a lieutenant in the corner. So I'm going to go for this with my miner here. I think that's the lieutenant. And these are his 2 miners. That's what I hope, at least. Okay, good, good. Alright, well... that's his lieutenant, surely. So... the play now is to come up with this miner. Alright, so I'm going to basically have to give up this lieutenant here. But I need to figure out the best way to do it. It's going to make me down 2 pieces, and I'm going to be up those 2 miners. But if I can force him to trade the last miner... Alright, so if I move over, he'll take the lieutenant. Then I can move the miner up and make a straight shot for the flag and pretty much force him to trade this off. And it keeps the colonel trapped. If I move up or over this way, he takes the lieutenant, then I can do the 3-square shuffle over here. And it'll end up my marshal here, his colonel here, and then my miner would have to come up around the marshal, and then go this way. Although having the marshal here and colonel here... Alright, let's do it this way. I think I at least have a draw here if we can trade off these last miners, but I really don't know. Alright, so he's going to take that. Now another thing he could do is actually sacrifice his colonel on the miner. That's another option, but I don't think he'll do that. That would probably bring more detriment to his chances than it would benefit. But this was definitely not really... I guess him taking my colonel with his marshal was unexpected for me. Ideally, in a situation like this, I can make it so that his lieutenant and his colonel are double chasing my miners, which is actually going to end up being a win for me, according to the official rules here. He's probably contemplating taking my miner, or what he should do in general. But getting this miner activated is the most important thing for me to do right now. Had the miner been right here, that would have been a whole lot easier, because I could have moved over, and then that would have forced his colonel to move over. That's an interesting move. I guess the play there is to move up. If he moves his marshal any more over, then I can make a straight shot for the flag and force the trade. Or if his lieutenant comes to help, I should be able to swing around on the outside here. I think he still has the advantage at the moment, but I'm pretty good at screwing these endgames up pretty badly, so that could definitely happen. And yeah, that's definitely a plausible scenario, is that I screw this up. But at least I played well enough to give myself a chance, I guess. Now this is sometimes where using so much buffer early in the game can kind of screw you over. Okay, I'm actually going to try to come up on this side here. I'm not sure if I'm being a bit greedy, because as it stands I have a draw if we trade minors. You know what, I really don't like draws, so let's just try to two-square it and see how this goes. Alright, let's just go up. Depending on what he does here, he can do two things. He can trade and he can move down. And if he trades, then that's rather straightforward. And yeah. But if he moves down, then I have one of two choices. I can go for it with my minor, or I can move over to trap. Okay, so no, I have to be very careful not to screw this up. Okay, I'm gonna move there. Alright, I'm gonna move up on this marshal. If he trades, then my minor goes to the flag. Let me see. Let me think about this here. Okay, I'm gonna move up. I don't think that puts me in any bad situations. Okay, so let's figure about this here. If I trade, then he'll move over. I'll move down. Alright, so this is going to be a draw here. Because if I trade, then he can move over. Then I'll be forced to... I'll basically get myself trapped. Let me see here. If I trade, then he will move over. If I move down, then he'll move over. It'll be my turn. If I trade, he moves over and I move up, then he can move up like that. And then it's my turn. I just have to retreat back. So I think the best I'm going to get here is a draw by running my marshal around. Because if I trade, then he has the moves here so that he can win. So I just have to let that happen, and I'm going to take my draw. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll take that. I don't think that changes anything. I think it's still a draw, because then he just goes with his marshal to trap my miner, and then that's all we have left. Yeah, this is going to be a draw, as long as neither of us, like, screws up, like, really badly in the next couple moves here. So, yeah. Alright, so he's trapped my miner there. I'm just going to have to take my draw. Alright, so a draw is much better than I thought I was going to get for most of that game. So, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to probably get docked, like, what, a point or two? But that's not a big issue. I think he's trying to, like, shuffle and make me forget it. But we got the Marshall here, so I'm not going to forget that. Yeah. So I guess he figured out that his move wasn't working, but yeah. Alright, yeah, so just -1. So I'm pretty happy with that win, actually. I'm pretty happy with, or not win, I'm sorry, I'm pretty tired. I'm very happy with that draw, because that is probably a whole lot better than I deserved for how I played. And considering his early luck over here with his Marshall. So I'm happy with that, but that was pretty hard fought, and I'm glad I at least got a draw out of that. So, GG.